All right. Hopefully this is all up and running because it's been a minute since I did anything related to this. So yeah, not doing an intro. Let me make sure I got all this stuff set up. And we will be rolling in a second. Give y'all some time to come in. All right, so we got that. Boom, boom. All right. It's been a minute since I've used StreamYard. Hey, what up, Angelique? What's going on? All right, so I guess I'll start off here. Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. I forgot how to do that. All right, let's mute that. Throw this on Twitter. All right. All right, cool. So, it's been a while. Channel update, what's been going on? I haven't uploaded a video in like almost 2 months or something like that. So, um, yeah, I'm basically going to break it all down. Is this the new space? Nah, this is just a different corner of the basement. Everything is in disarray right now. So I just have my light set up, but everything else around here is an entire shit show. So this is like the only corner that like somewhat looks okay. But yeah, the last video I uploaded was about me getting an iPhone 16 Pro Max update. I did not get the 16 Pro Max, and I will talk more about that later. But for those of you who follow me on X, Twitter, or whatnot, I actually embarked on a health journey. And part of that health was that one, I didn't like the way I looked in the mirror. Two, I didn't like the way I felt. I felt like crap. And I know a lot of you guys could have probably seen it in like some of my videos where very low energy, very like blah, hey, I'm just here, very just whatever, right? So I've tried to lose weight in the past and I failed multiple times in the past. And what I did this time, because I've tried this so many times before, was I told myself I was going to, one, was going to walk 10,000 steps a day, regardless of how I felt. I was back in the military. We used to walk to breakfast, we used to walk to lunch, and we used to walk to dinner. So I used to clock the miles in the past. I'm like, I've done it before. I could do it again. So that's where that came in. So 10,000 steps a day. I was going to remove fast food from my diet because your boy was out here mainlining McDonald's, KFC, Taco Bell, you name it. I was eating it. I was stress eating all that stuff, and I was putting on the weight. I was putting on the pounds, and in a minute, I'll show you guys like the whole before and after and all that stuff. And the other thing I said I was going to do was that I was going to work out. So I have weights and a bench and all that stuff. And basically, I did that for like 30 days straight. And I'm still doing it now. So the long but short of it is the results are my heaviest weight was 340 pounds. I am currently at 306. So 306. I'm literally 6 pounds away from being under 300 and I feel a lot better. I have a lot more energy. Um, I can run up a flight of stairs. I can lift heavier. Like everything's great. My clothes fit better. It doesn't like feel all super tight on me and everything like that. So I feel pretty good. And also, if you guys haven't noticed, I finally grew out some facial hair because I stopped caring. I was just like, hey, let me jump on this thing and keep on going from there. So, yo, what up, Scoop? Thanks for coming through. Thank you, Angelique. So yeah, I'm just that's where I've been. I lit because one of the things I had to do was I literally had to I had to stop doing YouTube because I honestly it was a mixture of stress, boredom, because like the Apple Vision Pro just let me down in so many different ways. I still have it, by the way, but just Apple dropped the ball on it and I wasn't trying to stress about it anymore. Also, working out and walking takes time. So the time that I was dedicating to YouTube to do videos and live streams and keep up on all the stuff, all that time went out the window to go do this stuff. So I would wake up in the morning. I would wake up dead early in the morning, somewhere between 5 or 6, and I would walk for an hour. That TV right here was pretty much my best friend because I would just turn on YouTube and I'd watch podcasts, I watch other people, other creators, and I would just walk. And so I would walk almost about 3,000, 4,000 steps just on the treadmill. And then when I went to work, I would walk at work. I would take the stairs. I would go walk to Subway from my job instead of hopping in a car and driving everywhere. I'd walk across the street, go to the grocery store and load up on food and bring it back. And so it was all about being more active. And then there were some days where, I would have to start out later. Like I didn't get my walk in the morning. So I had to do the walk in the afternoon. And I'll be honest, like the first week was like really, really tough. Like I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna stick with this, but I'm like, look, just focus, just keep going, just do it, do it, do it. And slowly but surely, like that weight started to come off because my activity level was like it wasn't there at all. Before I started that whole thing, I literally would wake up, get on Twitter, look up YouTube, look up articles, look up anything to talk about on tech. Then I would go to work, sit in my chair, take my calls. In my breaks, I'd be over there arguing with folks on Twitter, getting stressed out, living an unhealthy lifestyle. All right, I'm been sitting in this chair for 4 hours. What am I going to go do now? I'm gonna go to McDonald's. Like that's a really good idea. And I was at the point, and look, I have no shame in saying it. I was at the point where your boy went to McDonald's and just killed 2 Big Macs, right? And when you look at like the calorie count and the sodium and all that stuff, like I had in one meal what some people have calorically for an entire day. So all of that was just adding up, adding up, adding up. Then, of course, I would tell myself, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go work out," after eating all that crap and not doing anything. And then I would come home and I would consume more unhealthy stuff. I would stress myself out more arguing with people on Twitter and jumping through hoops in the comment section and everything else. And I guess you could call it burnout, but it was like burnout on both ends. It was a mental and physical burnout. And when I actually like just went cold turkey and took a break, I couldn't find the motivation to come back to YouTube because I was just like, I'm happy right now. I don't have to argue with nobody. I don't have to worry about a thumbnail. I'm not overly focused on analytics. I'm not here hitting a refresh button like, all right, come on, video, make it to 1,000 views. Come on, come on, come on. It's just all that went away. And when I was doing that, I was happier. I was thinking a lot clearer. I was actually a little bit freer too. I found myself not really trying to, censor myself too much or, oh man, what the fuck is this brain gonna think of? I'm like, whatever, fuck it, right? So that's essentially the update, the condensed version of it. I'm gonna get to the comments because I see people are like, commenting in and I'll address those. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I was just like, yeah, I just I didn't have the time to be stressed out. So I kind of left it there. So let's see. Holy cow, 30 pounds is amazing achievement. Yeah, that's something I still really can't believe myself. And I'm still trying to get under 300. So I would like to get back to like 250 or something like that, which would be cool. But let me go ahead and see if I can pull this up here because I'm still, it's been a minute since I used StreamYard. So I'm still relearning this stuff. It's funny how, like, if you don't do something for a while, you just like, it takes you a minute to like hop back on board and figure all this stuff out. But let's see, somewhere over the rainbow through all these posts and memes and stuff that I've done. All right. So we are here and I will show you guys the before and after of where I was at. So let's go. Do, 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 do. All right. So right now, all right, we're sharing my screen. I'm gonna make this full screen. And all right, here's where I was at. That was me at my heaviest. That was 340 pounds. And as you guys can see, I'm still wearing that same shirt. So yeah, that was me. And you can see it all up in my face here, right? Like the camera doesn't lie. Right. So that's where I was, you know, here I am now, little different or whatnot, but let me go back and go here. So that was 340 pounds. And I felt all of that weight. I felt every single motherfucking pound. And like I said, me personally, I just didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the fact that I got to the point where I had to wear 4X shirts. And you can't find 4X in Walmart. So having to go to certain places and find certain shirts and certain pants and certain this and certain that. Yeah. And I did that was all me. I did that to me. I didn't want to come up here with a sob story like, oh man, my life was so stressed. No, no, I did that to myself. I chose to do that to, go down that road or whatnot. So I decided to make a change. And basically, here's where I'm at today. So I still got a little bit of this to lose up here, but definitely slim down a bit. Now I drink water instead of drinking pop all the time, and I'm making healthier choices and all that fun stuff. So that's literally where I'm at and what I've been working on. So still catching up on the comments, but yo, Brad, hey, what's going on? Martin, yo, thanks for coming through. Angelique says, Trent, I bet you get sponsored by Dollar Shave Club now. I'm gonna tell y'all about the whole shaving thing, and that's the other reason why I haven't shaved. But I'm gonna get to that in a second. Yo, Jeff Hale, perspective. What's up? What's up? Martin, yeah, the walking seems to have been great for you. Happy for you. Yeah, it's been a mix of walking, eating better, and lifting weights. So yeah, I love it for me too. It's definitely good. But yeah, it definitely adds all up. So um okay, about the whole like Dollar Shave Club thing or whatnot, right? So here's my issue. For like 2 years, I tried I tried bevel razors, I tried regular razors, I've tried oils, I've tried anything you can think of when it comes to shaving. I've tried it. It literally works for like 48 hours and then I get like the worst inflammation, red face, ingrown hairs known to man. And the thing that I figured out is basically I just have to like let it grow out a little bit, including this up here. Everybody always like, why don't you shave your head? It's because it becomes painful after like 48 hours. Like there's nothing I can put on to really like mitigate it, and then I'm stuck with my head being inflamed for a week just so I can look better. And so the other thing is like if you guys look at some of my older videos, like when I was shaving, even when I was shaving like just using electric razor, because that didn't cut the hair down all the way, my face would just be breaking out like bad. Like you see all the red blotches and spots and whatnot. So the other thing was I just gave it up. I was like, let me just grow it out. Just let it grow, trim it down whenever it gets a little too long, whatever. And after a while, I got used to it. So now I'm just like, you know what? I'll stay here. I don't care anymore. People can call me bald all they want to. I don't give a shit. People can say I look like fucking what's that dude from UFC? I forgot his name. Somebody. At some point I like muted the name because people were saying it so much, but some dude from the UFC, I quote unquote look like him. So whatever. That's where the facial hair came from, and that's why I kind of just gave up on razors. Now I just use like a number 2 or 3 just to trim it down, and I just live with that. So yeah, no dollar shave, no shaving accessories or anything crazy like that. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Very, very, very bad. But because the worst thing I had was like I did the whole thing. Like I paid like $50. I went to a barber. They did like the oil and the straight razor, and they did all that stuff. It looked immaculate. Like it was like motherfucking beautiful, right? 48 hours later, the first 48 hours later, I felt like the first like pain or whatever, and that was like the hairs coming back in and curling in and stuff. And after that, it just got worse and worse. And literally, it was just nothing but a big blotch of red, like somebody had poured acid on the back of my neck. And that's how I felt. And I literally just had to tough it out. I was over there I ended up putting like vapor rub back there just to have like the cooling sensation because it was so inflamed. And I was just like, nope, I I quit. Never again. I'm good. I will wear hats. I will I will put a scarf or whatever. I don't care. I am not going through that shit again. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Yo, dude, Slang, what's going on, man? Angelique says that's what my husband and kids all use 10 skin. I'm so sorry you deal with that. That's terrible. Yeah, I'll say this, like on the scale of things that I could be dealing with, because I know other people that like have like far beyond issues like medically and stuff like that. For this and this being really my only issues and just getting the weight off, I'm totally cool with it. I don't mind. Um, I know people that have way more serious things going on, and I'm glad I'm not going through those things. But coming back around because I did say that I didn't get the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Um, I didn't get the iPhone 16 Pro Max because of two reasons. One, the carrier that I'm on, they only do trade-ins up to like $1,000 if you're on the most expensive plan that you can possibly get. And when I started thinking about it, I'm like, that's kind of dumb for me. I, whatever you guys do, that's on you. But for me, it just didn't make sense to pay the pay the highest plan to get a discount on one phone. And the other thing was that I was just like looking at the whole money situation and how much money I've spent like this year, how much I've been spending on tech. And I was just like, I'm tired of buying new stuff. Like I am fully 100% burnt out from buying new tech. I'm still using the M1 Max MacBook Pro. They got the M4s out. I ain't buying the M4. As long as this computer's running, I'm not buying a new one. And I really didn't feel like buying anything new just to review it because it's this is something that you as creators will understand this. If you're like a regular person, I'll try and break this down a little bit easier. But essentially, imagine if you're going out and you're buying tech, right? Like, so let's say you go out and you buy the new Apple Watch and you're a creator. Well, now you have to justify spending that money on that tech and trying to make that money back. Some people get it back through brand deals. Some people make their money through affiliate sales, through merch sales, all that stuff. Yeah, I wasn't coming anywhere close to replacing what I spent on the stuff. A lot of it came out of my own pocket. And there's like a certain like honor to doing that, like when you quote unquote spend your own money and you get more of a real take and stuff like that. But after a while, that gets old. Like just the rate at which tech comes out and the the smallest of differences between the tech, if you don't make your money back, it just feels like you're just constantly taking an L. And nope, nope, nope. So, of course, my kid comes downstairs talking about my kid always does this every time I start streaming. That's when he wants to come downstairs and run on the treadmill. But I don't have no space to do that right now. So I just told him, just hey, just hold that there. But like like I said, it's just the time I spent away from tech because I kind of felt like I was on this treadmill of like, man, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. I can't stop. If I stop, it's all going to fall apart. Blah blah blah. Whatever, whatever. I'll be honest. Taking almost 2 months off, my AdSense is literally the same as I was uploading. There is literally a $20 difference between the AdSense I was earning constantly, uploading, trying to keep up with the new stuff versus what's just been getting views and performing when I've been gone for 2 months. I was kind of in shock. I was expecting the whole, YouTube check thing or whatever to completely turn off. They sent me a check last month. I was just like, all right, I haven't uploaded anything, but apparently the older videos that were, like the stuff that was like the tutorials and stuff where I was like showing people how to do stuff, that was still working. Anything that was like, the opinionated stuff, the stuff that was like a 24-hour news cycle and no one cared about anymore, those videos are dead. They're dead and gone. So yeah, that's where I was at. So yeah, like I said, I was tired of spending money. I was tired of having to do all of this research that a lot of people really didn't care about. You would get people say, "Hey, you got this wrong, you got that wrong," but even when you fix it, nobody really cares. Um, People after a certain point really kind of gave up on the Vision Pro. I'll be honest, I kind of gave up on the Vision Pro. Like I just got to the point where I was like, if Apple doesn't care enough to talk about this thing, if Apple doesn't care enough to really bring out features, and it seems like even Apple themselves are slowing down, what the hell am I doing trying to keep this afloat about this product that the company doesn't even really care about themselves? At one point, I was even like, man, let me upgrade some stuff. Let me make the stuff look better. Let me get this lighting. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me try and get on Apple's radar. Let me try and go to the Apple campus. Let me try and be a part of the crew or be in a group or whatever. I was just after a while, I was like, oh fuck it. MKBHD, he can have that shit. Everybody else that's already going there and spending thousands of dollars and it's like their main job. Like I get it, but that's for them. That's cool. I am happier just going to my 95 and doing this on the side and instead of trying to become a full-time content creator or anything like that. And like I said, it took me a minute. I had to spend some time away to really think about my own priorities and be like, I like YouTube. I don't love YouTube. At one point, I loved it, but no, not anymore. Like now, I'd rather just get on here, turn on the camera, not have to worry about fucking around with like different lights and different looks and all this shit and up, down, left, and right. I'm like, oh, I just want to talk. So like, if I have an opinion about something, just turn on the camera. Hey, here's my opinion. Whatever. 500 views, 1,000 views, whatever. But I'm no longer going to be putting in a full-time job worth of effort throughout my day on top of my job and on top of being a dad and on top of everything else that I have to do for very little to no gain. It's just like if you go to work and they say, "Hey, you can do all this extra shit and we'll pay you $1 more an hour, or you can just do your regular job." Most of y'all after a while would just be like, I'll just do the regular job because the extra shit ain't worth it. Uh let's see. Great job on the weight. It's really diet, exercise, and mental hurdles. I recently had the pleasure of realizing that a new pair of pants I bought ended up being a size too big. Yippee, smaller waist. Yeah, it's been cool because I've had clothes that were hanging up in my closet and I wouldn't wear them because they were so tight on me that I didn't want to be on camera with them. Because who wants to be the heavy dude wearing a tight ass t-shirt, right? Like nobody wants that shit. Y'all don't want to see that shit. I don't want to hear people talk about me saying I'm wearing a shirt that's fucking two sizes too small. But when I started losing the weight and I was actually still wearing like the forex clothes or whatever, it got to the point where like the forex clothes they were getting kind of baggy, and I'm like, why? Well, I got that hanging up in the closet. Let me put that shirt on. Put the shirt on. Holy shit, it fits. you know? And it was at that point because when you're losing weight, when you look at the scale every day, even though you see the number, you don't feel the number, right? You still feel like you weigh like a million fucking pounds. But when you start putting on clothes and those clothes fit better, that's when you really see it. Or when you um compare pictures over a long period of time. So yeah, I definitely feel you on that one. You got wins and wins right now. Yeah, I'm just winning. Daryl says, "I know the timing just for other things." Yeah, like, and it's not that I don't care about tech. I just don't care to fight about it anymore. I really don't even care to go to the lengths and conversations that I was going anymore. Now I'm literally at the point where, hey, if I think something's dumb, it's dumb. Okay. And I'm just leaving it there. And yes, somebody could have intended a better way, or maybe I'm missing the hidden design. But no, like some stuff is just stupid. Okay. And I really don't feel like trying to play ball or get on anyone's good side anymore. Like I said, if I think something's dumb, it's stupid. For example, a power button on the underside of the fucking Mac Mini is stupid. Okay? I don't care how much people say, "Well, I never turn my Mac off. I always leave it on, blah blah blah." It's stupid. Okay? And I'll leave it there. I ain't gonna argue with nobody. I just think it's dumb. The same way that some people think that camera control is stupid. I still think it's okay, but some people think it's dumb. But that's fine. Like we all don't have to agree. And like I said, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm no longer trying to find the hidden meaning and stuff. If I use something and it's inconvenient or you got to go out your way to do some extra shit, it's dumb. Especially when you have a Mac Mini and you have an LED indicator on the front. You could just make the LED indicator a damn power button. Like that has been done so many times over, but whatever. Stuff like that. Those are the takes that I'm gonna just start putting out and not really even caring about anymore. Let's see. Health is wealth, life balance is far more important. It is. And sometimes you don't even realize it until you live it. Like I remember I remember a couple months ago, like people were saying that, and I was just like, yeah, well, that sounds nice, but fuck it, I'm already overweight or whatever, right? But when you actually start doing the things and you start seeing the progress, you're like, yeah, maybe somebody's onto something. Um, Let me catch up here. Dennis, what's up? Glad to see you're looking for balance in your life. Greetings from Sweden. Yeah, man, I'm all about that balanced life. Uh, Thank you for hanging around and coming through. Also, if you guys don't know, I just recently turned 39. So my birthday was on Saturday. I just chilled out. I didn't do nothing crazy, but that's the other thing is, age, thinking about that, being around for my kid. The other thing is being overweight in the US is just inconvenient as shit. Um, I used to go to Cedar Point, like an amusement park, theme park or whatever. I stopped going because I couldn't fit on the rides anymore. And instead of me saying, well, you're getting a little up there in the weight, I'm just like, oh, well, they just made the seat smaller. Then I stopped traveling. Like I really didn't want to travel on a plane. Like I went to Vid Summit last year and I was uncomfortable as shit because I had to squeeze myself into one of those plane seats. I even upgraded and got a bigger seat and I still didn't have enough space. And so that made me not want to fly anywhere anymore because it was uncomfortable. And the more I ran into just discomfort, like going to an NFL stadium and having to literally hug myself because I was too wide to fit in the seat, didn't want to go there, going to the Cavs games and arenas, and those seats were too small. Once again, I got to hug myself for the entire fucking game, didn't want to go there. And it was just like the bigger I got, the more weight, it was just like inconvenience, inconvenience, inconvenience. I remember, and this is what really killed me. I went to IHOP and I wanted to just get just a regular restaurant cooked meal. I didn't even want fast food. And so they sat me down at one of the booths and I was so big, like my stomach was out that I had to squeeze into the booth and I was just like, "Oh no, fuck this. No, 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 no." So I had to slide back out, right? And sit in a chair at a table because I didn't have enough space. So I'm like, yeah, I need to get smaller. I don't need to take up any more space than I'm already taking up. But that was part of the motivation to that is some of those inconveniences. The other inconvenience, and I mentioned this earlier, I shop at Walmart a lot. And I used to shop there a lot because I would just get jeans that were cheap because they would tear up. I'm always working in them. Why am I going to go out and buy 80, 90, $100 pair of jeans? But I got to the point where I was so big weight wise that they didn't have my size at Walmart anymore. And oh my God, trying to find pants over size 46 in some places gets annoying. Even looking at how much fabric a size 48 pants takes up, it's like, oh my fucking Jesus. And so I would have to go to like these like third party stores where they would resell clothes. And I really couldn't choose out nothing. All I had was just like what was there available on the rack. So a lot of times I was going to the big and tall section. I was wearing shit that is meant for motherfuckers who were like 6'6", but it had the width or whatever, right? So yeah, some of these t-shirts were a little bit too long. But like I said, it was just so many inconveniences that it was enough to be like, yeah, gotta make a change. So let's just say I have more than enough motivation to keep going. Let's see. Do. Yes, yes, not the power button. I understand where you're coming from, bro. I don't watch tech YouTubers anymore that much. I mean, look, I still so here's the frame of mind that I'm in. I will watch like some tech YouTubers just purely for the entertainment value or like because I'm a nerd and I like cameras, so I like seeing fancy camera angles. But I don't even mainline tech YouTube anymore. Like I'll watch I'll watch Technically T, I'll pop in during the live stream. I'll still come in on Gadget Goddess, watch her streams. Still I'll check out Easy Computer Solutions. And a lot of times, you know what? I'm just in the background. I'm not even in really like most of the discussions anymore. I'll just check it out just to support or whatnot. And everything else is just like tech YouTube is kind of ruined for me because everything comes out under the embargo and everything gets leaked. So you kind of learn everything. Once again, there's not that many differences. It's just like the new product is meant for someone that's coming from the product that's like 4 generations old or something like that. So it's just like, nah. Like, I'll talk about it. Like, if we had like a discussion about it, or if you guys put something in the chat and you wanted me to talk about it, I'll talk about it. But I do not feel like putting in the effort that is literally required to stay relevant in tech YouTube. I just no, I don't have the time. There's not enough return on investment. I'd rather literally just talk about it. Just like regular conversation. Yeah, yeah, it's dumb. The mouse charging port and the power button are stupid. It is. And that's one of those things where um Apple does some dumb shit. Like, look, I have Apple products. I enjoy Apple products. They make my life easier. But I'm here to say that there's just some stupid things that they keep around, and we really make some silly excuses. Like, here's the thing I don't understand about tech. We will call one thing dumb, right? Like we'll say, "Oh, well, this doesn't make sense because of blah blah blah." Okay, but we won't apply that same energy to other things. We had a magic mouse for like what, 12? How many years has it been with that damn lightning port on the bottom charging that fucking thing? Has it been like a decade, something like that? And then finally, they they go to USB-C and they just, all right, here, we'll just put USB-C on the bottom. Okay. Why? Why on God's green earth would the charging port be on the bottom? Why can't it be on the front? Why can't the Magic Mouse be redesigned? Right? Oh, well, it's a classic design and blah, 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 and all these fucking excuses. Or, well, you only have to charge it for 10 minutes. I don't see what the big deal is. Oh, okay. So we'll let that go, right? But everything else that comes out, everything else is, oh, well, these these um these bezels are too big. Wait, time out. So we get tripped out on bezels, but we're cool with the fucking charging port being on the bottom of the mouse to where you can't even use the mouse and charge it at the same time. No consistency. No consistency whatsoever. We literally just make up excuses for the things that we want to make up, and everything else is just like, what the fuck. But anyway, coming back around to the comments here. So the point of the mouse charging port, they say, is to force you to take a break. So why isn't that on the keyboard port the same? Exactly. Like it doesn't make sense. Jason C says, let's be honest, no one blames you for not going to see the Browns. Hey man, look, I feel like a lot of people waste their money going to go see them. Let's see. TJ says, and I'm not the person to sit there and fight about technology at the end of the day, bro, because it's not bettering your lives getting in contact with family or friends. Okay. Man, look, I'll tell you right now. Here's the other thing about the tech community right now. And this is God's honest truth. The tech community fights with themselves. They fight with themselves. And it's not really like they're fighting against they're not really fighting against comments. They're not fighting against the regular person. They're not. No, it's literally a group of us tech creator nerds arguing with each other. And let's say maybe in like the whole like phone uh phone, tablet, MacBook or whatever, it's like the same 25 tech YouTubers, right? And this isn't a drama thing. This isn't to call anybody out. It's just me being real. We just argue with each other. And I was a part of that. Every day I get on Twitter and I'd argue with people. It really didn't do anything for anybody. it might have been a little bit entertaining wise, drama wise or something like that. But it was just us arguing, just us arguing with each other, trying to prove each other wrong, trying to fact check each other, and that shit got boring. It just became a waste of time. I'm like, why am I exhausting so much mental energy over this shit that literally no one else cares about? And of course, on Twitter, people quote unquote care by giving you likes and engagement and blah blah blah. But like when it got to the point to where like people would just go out there and just try and trigger other people purely for engagement. That like after a while, I was just like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'd rather just post memes, have a good time, and I'm good. I don't want to flip out about shit like that anymore. I don't want to waste part of my life having an online argument that is utterly meaningless. you know. Um the other thing, and this is no offense to anybody when I say this, like don't y'all fucking go take this shit and be like, "Oh my god." No. But seriously, as a tech YouTuber, okay? I am so fucking tired of we have to hold the companies accountable. No, the fuck I don't. I I no longer want to lay on that sword. I no longer want to be the I'm going to drag this company or I'm going to constantly call this company out because people have done that. And we are literally at the point to where companies only change if you're a mega influencer. Like seriously, that's the only time that they change. Or they change when the sales drop. That's it. That is literally it. It it took Apple how many fucking years to have their arm twisted behind their back to put USB-C on there? No matter how much we complained, no matter how much Marquez complained, no matter how much everybody else and their mama complained, no matter how much people said that Lightning was old and antiquated and slow and no fast charging and this and that and blah 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 blah. It literally took another fucking nation to twist their arm behind their back before they finally change. They not gonna listen to me. I'm I'm not going to kill myself trying to put that out there. Would I still talk about it? Oh yeah, I absolutely would. But I'm not bending over backwards. I'm not making it my life's mission anymore. There there is not enough there's not enough reward in it, right? That'd be like if somebody told you, "Hey, go outside and, go rescue these people or whatever," right? And you go do it and it's like, "All right, go do it again." All right, am I going to get paid? No. Am I going to get anything out of it? No, you'll just have the honor of 10 comments that say that you're holding these companies accountable. Uh that gets old. And it gets old really really fast. Especially when, like I said, you have other stuff going on. This is not my main job. This is not my mission in life. This is literally me talking about stuff. And you get a lot of pressure. You get more pressure as a smaller creator to like quote unquote speak out than as a larger creator. Because as a larger creator, you have like more of a bigger fan base. Wherein as a smaller creator, it's like more smaller creators bumping heads against smaller creators. And, hey, we thought you weren't like one of the big YouTubers. We thought you were cool. We thought you were down to earth. And it's just after a while, you're just like, yeah, fuck all that shit. So no, it's just like I said, if I think something's dumb, it's dumb. But I'm not tagging Apple anymore. I'm not tagging Samsung anymore. I'm not making it my life's mission to point out every single flaw on Twitter. The thing that works, to be honest, because I have a second channel and this honestly has worked. I have a second channel where I make Chromebook tutorials. I uploaded 11 videos, and none of those videos are talking about how bad Chromebooks are. None of those videos are talking about, oh, well, Chrome is being lazy or all of that shit that is like gossip in tech. I don't talk about none of that. All I did was show people how to fix a problem. I was like, hey, you have this problem, do this, this, and this. Um, if you want to get rid of this or if you want to change that, do this, this, and this. No opinions, no personal vendettas, no, none of that. How to blah, blah, blah. Views. People thanking me in the comments. Every once in a while I get a comment that says, "Hey, that didn't work." And I'm like, "Well, hey, I'm sorry this video is like 2 years old. You can give it a try or maybe I can make an updated one, but way less stress." It's almost like if you make videos that just help people out and don't give a fuck and don't jump into any of the drama or anything else, things work out pretty well. Uh let's see. Do. Yo, yo, what up, Genosis? Oh yeah, when you can sit at a restaurant or sit in a regular chair or anything, it starts to be common and inconvenience, and not like traveling or doing anything that's considered fun. Oh yeah, yeah. I used to love going out. I used to, as I started gaining weight, I just wanted to stay in more. I didn't want to go out, and that would just contribute to adding on to more weight. See, Brad Fogle says, I'll tell you this, I'm pretty over the videos between announcements and release. All the tech speculation vids are pretty dead to me nowadays. Nowadays. Yeah, so at some point, like tech speculation videos, rumor videos, news videos, and all that stuff, they started to really like take off. So you saw and I'm not blaming anybody for this. This is just a cause and effect thing. So a lot of people were like, "Well, hey, I'll start doing the news or I'll start doing the leaks and do that because one, there's not that initial investment. Like you're not going out and fucking buying one of these at $1,000 every couple of months or doing this or oh, let me buy all the colors or whatever. Like it's a way less cost. So I understand why people are doing that. But it literally got to the point to where the entire conversation would always be about what's coming, what's new, and that was it. It was like, "Hey, the iPhone 14 is gonna have this, this, and this," and everybody would just argue about who's right, and then people argue about which leaks were true and which ones weren't true, and then people would be upset because it was supposed to be a leak that was supposed to be true. Then Apple didn't give it to us, so now we're upset, even though that the company never even promised any of this stuff, and it was just over and over. And then finally, you would get to the release of the product, you'd have that 2-week blast cycle of early access, embargoes, this blah, 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 whatever, whatever. So all the views were already gone. And then everybody else is over there, scrapping and fighting for unboxings and, stuff. And literally 2 weeks later, we're like, all right, iPhone 15. What's going to be next with the iPhone 15? And we started that whole cycle over, and it's just starting to age out a little bit. Like even even with like the iPhone 16, because like I thought about getting it, and I was like, well, it's later. It's kind of calmed down. There's not like this tech fury. Everybody's rushing to get out their videos. I mean, really, about 3 weeks later, it just seemed like no one gave a shit. Everybody was just like, oh well, the iPhone 16 is here. Let's talk about the iPhone 17. Let's talk about all the rumors and leaks. And I'm just like, they can keep that. So trust me, I get where you're coming from, Brad. Stupid bad ergonomics, magic tendonitis mouse. Yeah, I will never use another magic mouse. I'm just like, it's not for me. Some people like that thing. I don't. I I have a Logitech MX Master, blah blah blah, something that I would just rather use. Um, I thought that was the purpose of X to argue. It is, but like, it's not even fun anymore. The fact that in order to tell a joke, there has to be like a mandatory insert of an emoji. Otherwise, people are going to take it so seriously and take things out of context. It's kind of ridiculous. Let's see. Yeah, after a while, it doesn't become as much fun as it was when you first started putting your opinion in chat. Yeah, that's just the way it goes. Like straight up, bros, consumers don't have to rely on our company that doesn't take our feedback. And here's what I love about regular people, because to be honest, this happens with a lot of people in IT. This happens with a lot of people in tech. Sometimes we know too much and we get out of the mindset of a regular consumer. And here's how a regular consumer thinks most of the time: my phone still works. I don't need a new phone. Crazy thought, right? And most people, that's how they think. They're like, okay, well, hey, here's this new phone. It has this feature that I want, but I don't want to have to trade in my phone. I don't want to have to re download all my apps. I don't want to have to go through the process of switching everything out for one feature. Or if I'm going to upgrade to the new phone, I want a deal on the phone because maybe I spent all this money before, right? Maybe I want a good trade in, or maybe, I want to get something else for somebody. It's like people think beyond just like the whole tech YouTuber thing. Because tech YouTuber thing is like, I need this so I can make money, so I can keep up and be with everybody else. Regular people, they're not out here, flipping phones into videos. They're going to work, they're spending their money, and they're choosing. They're just like, hey, you know what? I don't need to upgrade this year. I'll wait. But there's also another regular person out there that's a first time customer, or like somebody I knew at work. They had an iPhone 8 that they were using, iPhone 8 Plus. They still been using it, and they finally just decided to upgrade. And so when they upgraded, they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get the 16 Plus." But then they found out that they could get the 15 Pro Max for the same deal that they got the 16 Plus. So it made absolutely no sense for them to get a 16 Plus when they could have got a 15 Pro Max at the same price, you know? So, yeah, regular people think different. They have a totally different set of priorities. And most of the time, tech content creators are making content for the latest and greatest. Which, don't get me wrong, there's money there, but that's really the thing. Most people nowadays, especially in the economy or whatnot, a lot of people are looking like, "Hey, well, if last year's model was so good and it's been a year and now I can get it discounted, why pay? Why pay top dollar for the brand new thing if the 1-year-old thing is a difference of like 10%, as far as performance or anything like that, if you can even tell the difference. So, yeah, that's kind of where I was with that. Yo, what up, Mike? Good to see you, man. Tan, hey, I'm sorry if y'all missed part of it, but it's set to like, I think it's the DVR or whatever is going, so you can kind of go back. But happy belated birthday. Hey man, thank you. Your boy's 39, so I'm enjoying the last of my 40s. So yeah. Let's see. Anytime he comes out with a new release, the phone, everybody's on the links and all that type of stuff. And when it comes out, there's certain stuff that the phone doesn't have. Yeah, and so the other thing that I'm tired of, I've been tired of this for a while, but it's a thing. I'm just tired, like, of companies coming out with stuff and they're like, "Oh yeah, you'll get this software feature later." Like, "Hey, here's the new iPhone 16 Pro Max. It's ready for Apple Intelligence. Yeah, you'll get that later." What? So let me get this straight. Y'all want me to pay over $1,000 for the iPhone 16 Pro Max, 16 Pro, Pro Megatron, Voltron, Ultimate 3100, titanium, blah, blah, blah. But I can't even get all the features at launch? No, that comes later. Why? it's just so annoying. And then it's even more annoying as a tech content creator be like, "Hey, be excited for this phone. All the great features come later." And the most egregious thing is this. Here's the most egregious thing. I am currently on the developer beta, right? So I got the latest beta, 18.2, whatever the fuck whatever it is now. And when I did it, I went to, do like the whole what is that, like the Genmoji and all that stuff. And then was like, all right, you gotta download a separate app. Why? It should just be built into iOS, but whatever. Separate app. I did this like on last Friday morning, November 1st. I go into the app and it's just like, all right, early access requested. I looked on Twitter, everybody was like, yo, it's gonna take like 30 minutes, don't sweat it, or it might take an hour, don't worry about it. I waited the whole fucking weekend. The whole weekend. And on Monday, I just so happened to look again and it wasn't there yet. And I'm like, wait. So I had to request early access to something that's a beta feature, that's a developer beta that everybody else already doesn't have access to. What? Okay. So today's Wednesday, right? And I just opened up the app on my phone. It's still there. Like who wants to buy stuff brand new and it's just not all there? Like that's just silly. That's like the dumbest thing I've seen. And somehow I have to find a way to make that make sense. Like, nah, look, hear me out. Once again, I'm not talking about tech creators, okay? Don't turn this into no drama shit. But it's past the point where we need to explain shit that the company does. That's not fucking on us anymore, okay? Apple, Samsung, Google, whatever company that you name, they have PR representatives. They pay people to present this stuff. They pay people to talk to the press. Those motherfuckers should be out there answering all the goddamn questions. We shouldn't have to sit here and be a think tank and figure out, oh man, I wonder why Apple did this. Well, Apple actually did this because internally they couldn't figure it out, but they publicly couldn't come out and say it. And here's the actual truth. Nope, nope, nope. Companies need to come out and explain that. Like the same way, like in the NFL, when they go ask the players, the people who played in the game, they go and ask, they're like, hey, what happened on this play? What were you guys thinking? Where did this go? Blah, 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 whatever, whatever. Like, you know, they're not, you don't have the media constantly going to fans and say, hey, you bought this, you paid to see this team. Explain why this team is failing. No, that's not on the fan. The fan is there, they paid the money, they got the product. The person making the product, the person producing the product, those are the ones responsible. Those are the ones that should have all the fucking answers. But somehow we as tech creators got tricked into like becoming fucking, you know, like an indirect front man for that. And I don't want to do it. I don't care anymore why Apple chose to do whatever they did or any other company. All I care is that spent money on a product. The product either does something or it doesn't do something. And that's where my responsibility ends. I don't feel like being a fucking brand whisperer anymore. Oh no, no, I'm still here. I'm just not buying anything new. I'm not buying a new Mac Mini. I'm not buying a new MacBook Pro. I'm not buying the new AirPods unless my other AirPods crap out. No. Like what is the reward for buying something new today? And what is it? It's basically to say, "Hey, I got the new thing." You don't even get all the features at jump. There's no benefit to pre-ordering anymore. You don't get any extra things in the box, you know? Pre-orders really only matter if you absolutely want to be first, or if you're a tech content creator, you gotta get a video out. There is no difference between getting an iPhone 16 on day 1 versus day 7. Hell, even 30 or 60 days later, there's no difference. Same thing with Samsung. It doesn't matter if you get a doesn't matter if you get an S20 Ultra on day 1 or even 14 days later. The only difference might be like the trade-in value, but just out the box, it's the same, you know? And, yeah, there's a couple updates later, but that's really about it. Antenna says, speaking of Tesla, are you getting a Tesla robot? Fuck no. I am not rich enough for that. See, people did it with Tesla and still waiting self-drive. Hey, look, I'll say this. Like, if you have the money and you're willing to wait, then cool. But if you don't have the money and you're like, oh man, I saved my last penny and this is gonna make my life better. Hey, just make sure you're getting everything up front. If you gotta wait 3 or 4 months, just wait 3 or 4 months. But don't buy a product waiting for the thing to come later and then you're just frustrated. I said the same thing about the Vision Pro. Like after about like 2 months, I was like, y'all don't buy this thing. Just wait. don't don't buy it and get stuck with it and then be pissed off and the company already has your money. Let's see. Black Dragon says it's a huge slap in the face that tech YouTubers didn't have to wait to gain access to Image Playground on 18.2 beta, while others have to wait up to 2 weeks for access, still on the wait list. Yeah, like this is really the first year that I've seen Apple kind of just fail in multiple different ways to deliver stuff that was supposed to be out, you know. Did they have some success? Yes, but it's a little unnerving slash uncomfortable at the software development. It's like, oh hey, we advertise this. All right, cool. Is it out yet? No. Well, maybe it got pushed back. I mean, at this point, just just wait. Just wait until it's finished. Like I've gotten to that point to where no, I'm not giving you money, okay? I'm not paying you to give me an incomplete product and then wait for you to fix it later. I don't care if I got to take a loss on views or a loss on ad revenue, but I'm not going to buy something and then be sitting on my hands like, "Oh, hey, how can I make a video and make this work out because all the stuff that was supposed to be there isn't there?" Like, no, I'll wait. I'll wait. I saw someone make a beat with the Vision Pro. Hey, that's dope. That's dope because when I turn on the Vision Pro, it's the same apps. You might find one or two apps here that are brand new that are actually worth it, or every once in a while you might see somebody do something cool with it. But a lot of stuff is just being recycled over and over again, and I'm like, I've made videos on stuff already, and there's really nothing to really update or say anything about. I still enjoy it, but there's just it's nothing to talk about. I even thought about making a video about like the ultra wide screen or whatever, but it's just like most of the people watching don't have a Vision Pro. Um, Once you see the ultra wide screen, you're gonna click off the video in like 16 seconds. It's like whatever. It's kind of like a non-factor. Like it's cool if you have a Vision Pro. Like don't get me wrong, it looks nice, but to try and share that and have people understand that watching through a phone or a screen or something else and not even have the full experience is just most people can't rock with it. And I don't blame them. Who's making money on on ad revenue? People are still making money if you got tutorial videos. Y'all making money on ads. Yeah. My here's the funny thing. So my main channel, this channel, which has 11,000 subscribers or whatever, I stopped counting after a minute. This channel earns the same amount of money as my second channel that I just uploaded. Like I said, 11 videos to talking about how to do shit with Chromebooks, literally how to step-by-step videos. Those two channels earn the same amount of money. And together they just put me over the threshold to get the AdSense allotment or whatever. So 2,000 sub channel versus 11,000 sub channel. 11,000 sub channel has thousands of dollars of equipment videos of phones, computers, tablets, laptops, blah, 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 all of that stuff, right? And then the other channel literally has a $250 Chromebook, was shot on a fucking iPhone, and it's just information. Earn the same. earn exactly the same. So it really has me rethinking a lot of stuff and not jumping through the hoops that I was originally willing to jump through. And I'm pretty much at the point where like all the stuff that I bought and all I have, I'm not really gonna like go on this like crazy selling spree or anything. I'm still gonna use it, but I'm just not really in the mood to really fucking buy anything. Let's see. Never buy a product with the promise of features. Yeah, I am pretty much at that point right now. Yeah. That's where I'm at. Yep, evergreen content. My tutorials is still doing great. Yeah, I mean, pretty much like that's really where it's at. And honestly, I'll be honest, I kind of feel better just making a video that's a tutorial that's going to help people over like the next 3 or 4 years versus making a video that people are going to care about for like the next 3 or 4 days. Like at that point, it really feels like you're just like living from paycheck to paycheck when you do that. Like whenever there's like a new news story that comes out, like, all right, hey, let me get the news story, let me put it together, let me do this, let me do that, and it's just like the news, and people get the news and then they bounce, and like they're not going to check out another video. They're not coming back. They got their little bit of information, and they're gone. And does it really help anybody? Not really. So yeah, that's literally where I'm at with that. Ace says go hard on the other channel, grow it. Maybe you get enough ad revenue to support the tech for this channel. Um, my, I'll be honest, I don't know what my current plans are for how I'm going to move forward with this channel because there's a lot of times where I'll make a plan, like I'm like, oh yeah, this will make sense, and I'm a little impulsive about it, so I may need to really sit down and think about what I really want to do with this channel. And at least for now, I may just I may just comment on stuff. I may just turn on the camera and just be like, yo, this is some bullshit, or hey, this is cool, yada yada, whatever, whatever. Roll from there. If Apple decides to like actually fucking do anything with the Vision Pro, maybe talk about that. And then the second channel, it's kind of easy because it's just like, all right, what tutorial haven't I made? And at that point, I don't even have to be on camera. It's like just point the phone at the screen. Hey, this is how you do this. If it gets views, cool. If it not, whatever. At least it helps somebody out. That will be like we built the iPhone 16 from the ground up for Apple Intelligence features that won't be available until the iPhone 17. Yeah, and that's really like part of the game. Like that's companies have gotten to the point to where it's kind of like they don't have to really try, and a lot of us are kind of guilty for just going with it. Let's just like, hey, did this company really give you anything? No, but I'm just buying just to be a part of the participation squad or whatever. So, uh, bro, I feel you. Yeah, like a lot of this stuff I really haven't talked about like too heavily in depth. I kind of just hung back. I was just like, yeah, I'm enjoying life right now. But I made this live stream because I was on my phone and I got YouTube Studio on there. So like you get like a notification whenever you get a comment. And somebody hit me up and they were like, yo, man, what's going on with the videos? Like, what's up? And that's when I looked and I was like, yeah, I really haven't uploaded the video in like 2 months. So might be time to actually go out and do like a whole full update, talk about stuff, get it all out. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with. I'm not putting chapters in this, so y'all can skip around if y'all want to. I'm sorry, but it's just nah. Just a regular sit down conversation, blah blah blah. I swear my girlfriend be let's see. I swear my girlfriend I swear my girl tired of me having a different idea every other week. It gets tiring, it gets exhausting. Um, to be honest, when you're and this is not a dig. This is just like I said, this is me keeping it real. When you get to the point of talking to other people and you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this," and then next week you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna do that," and the next week you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna do that," and like 6 months later, you've had like a different idea every single week, and you really never commit to it, and it's just like always changing. Like people will be polite and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's cool, whatever." But in the back of their minds, they'll just be like, "Man, I really wish this person would just like just go, just stick with it, just do something because I can't hear the plan no more." And I've had somebody tell me that and I'm like, "It makes sense." So, don't beat yourself up too much about it, but, you know, take some time, find out what you want to do and just slowly do it, you know. I've actually been really happy when I kind of forgot that the YouTube Studio app existed. I don't care if a video is 1 out of 10 anymore. I don't care if something's a trending topic. I don't care if, oh, whoa, oh no, this month you got less views than you got last. I don't fucking care. I refuse to be stressed out about that anymore to the degree that I was stressed out on it was. Like, nah. I do not make enough money to be stressed out about some YouTube shit. Yo, T, what's going on, man? I was able to catch your stream. Part of it the other day. I was like just on the treadmill walking. So good stream. Glad to see you still pumping out the videos, man. I'm sorry if I'm missing some of the comments because I'm just like trying to keep up. But Yeah. Oh no, it looks like I am caught up. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at. So like I said, still rocking the same old stuff. Still got the Gen 1 Apple Watch Ultra. Um, that was something that I was looking at because I was thinking about maybe I might upgrade to the Apple Watch 2, but I'm like, I would be upgrading for a color. So that really didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So original Apple Watch Ultra, still using the 15 Pro Max, still using the M1 Ultra, no, M1 Max 16-inch MacBook. And like I said, I'm just going to continue using it. Like I don't, and here's the beautiful thing about this. I don't have a reason to buy something. And what I've noticed with this whole like 2 month, you know, sabbatical or whatever you want to call it, is since I stopped spending money on tech every single week, I have extra money just to just do stuff with now. Like I remember buying, what did I buy? Was it, yeah, no, I had bought the I had bought that M3 MacBook, the MacBook Pro, because I was gonna make videos on it. And I'm sitting here, I'm like moving around all these pieces on the chessboard, like, all right, I need to take this money and I need to take this much, I need to earn this, and then I need to make this work to flip it and do blah blah blah, whatever, whatever, right? While also being like, all right, well, I need to pay this bill and I need to do this and I need to make sure I'm not late on that and blah blah blah, whatever, whatever. So now that I wasn't buying the tech and I didn't have to buy anything else, I'm like, all right, I got this extra money. Let me go pay this credit card off. Um, Let me take some of this money and throw it in my savings account. Oh, hey, my kid just started doing karate and the lessons are going to cost this much and blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, I'm not just throwing money at tech all the time. Let them do the karate classes. So, yeah, literally just stress wise has just been gone. And having just that extra money around and saying to myself, I don't need to buy this. I don't need to live in Best Buy. I don't need to go to the Apple store every week. I don't need to be constantly searching online on, you know, discounts or, whether I'm going to use a firm or not to get something and blah, 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 or if I'm going to get 3% cash. No, I'm just like, no. I look at something, okay, that's $500. Do I really need that? No. Where could that $500 go? Oh, it can go towards this. It could do this. It could do that. It could solve all these other, random life situations that come up. Brad says, and technically less features because it doesn't have the pulse oximeter on the new ones. Yeah, I'll be honest. I thought I was going to use like the whole O2 sensor. I don't even use the O2 sensor on here. So I use my Apple Watch Ultra to track my workouts, to track my steps, to track my heart rate, but that's it. I can't tell you the last time I looked at the whole blood thing. Only thing we're missing out on by having old Apple Watches is we don't get the new sleep apnea feature, but I think that's kind of a gimmick anyways, the way they did it. If they did come out with that feature, I would just wait another year. And then, like, let's say if it was in the Apple Watch Ultra 3, I would wait until the Apple Watch Ultra 4 came out and then just buy the Apple Watch 3 at a discount. Hell, the fact that there's like M1 Max and M1 I saw M1 saw a bunch of M1 MacBooks. I saw M1 iMac. There's a bunch of M1 stuff that are like showing up at pawn shops for ridiculous deals. Stuff that used to cost like $1,000 out the door. I found a M1 MacBook Air, you know, 256 of storage, 8 gigabytes. It was like $400 at a pawn shop. You know, it's we're at that point where if you're willing to wait, you can find a discount and it really doesn't matter. But Klarna, oh yeah, Klarma. Yeah, funny thing about Klarma is like they got that on shoes, and it's like, hey, you can get these $100 shoes, and you can make 4 payments over 4 months, and pay like 36% in interest. So yeah, no, I'm avoiding all that stuff. Dan Tanner says I enjoy being an average consumer again when it comes to tech again. I do too. Like it's like I said, I still like talking about tech. I still like being around in tech, but I just don't like the tech woes of the money and all the other crazy shit. Oh yeah, I sent the wrong thing. O2. Okay, O2 sensor. Dan Tan says I still use my fully spec M1 Mac Mini to this day for music production. Still running fast as fuck. Yeah, and I'll be honest. If you took my MacBook Pro and you put it up against the new M4, unless you run a Geekbench score, unless you're exporting 8K and Final Cut Pro with with effects and all that other shit or whatever, right? You can't tell the difference. I'm sorry. You cannot tell the difference at all. If I put a silver M1 MacBook Pro, right? And I'm talking M1 Pro, I'm not even talking M1 Max. M1 Pro up against a silver M4 MacBook Pro, same size, same screen, everything. The only difference you'll be able to tell if you're not exporting shit are the ports. That's it. Or maybe the color. You can't tell. You cannot tell. This damn MacBook still operates just just as fast. You open up the cover, it loads up, no lag, none of that shit. None. The only time you can tell the difference is if you're heavily exporting. I mean, like you have like a really heavy workload and you do the export, or if you constantly live on Geekbench and look at Geekbench scores. There is there is not enough of a measurable difference unless you were doing some serious shit. I've noticed a lot of tech I noticed a lot of tech YouTubers have changed the channel up completely and not talking about the technology of any sort. Because we're all burnt the fuck out. And here I'm gonna say something that's kind of controversial. Burnout sometimes is necessary. And I already know, oh the fuck. No, not the mental health shit, blah blah. No, look, burnout is sometimes necessary because when you get burnt out, that's literally a sign for you to stop doing whatever you're doing. It's just like pain. Like I know a lot of people, hey, I never want to feel pain. I want to be pain free and stuff like that. You shouldn't always be experiencing pain, but pain is just a indicator that you're doing too much or you're getting to your limit or maybe you need to slow down. So if you are getting burnt out over something, that's your sign, that's your warning to say, yo, stop, take a break, take a step back, let figure out something else. It's okay. Like if you get burnt out, okay, maybe you're doing too much. Time to walk it back a little bit or whatever. And that's just kind of the way I look at it. Should you be aiming for burnout? Probably no, but just know where your limits are. Know if something's too much and walk it back a little bit. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Sorry, I couldn't go back.
All right, here she go. But I can't even say it because that whole Apple assistant will start setting off everybody else's stuff. But yeah, it is time to evolve. Or honestly, sitting down and just having a regular conversation with people just seems to be the move right now. Ace says my M1 Air is getting funky the past couple of months. Sometimes I get that little rainbow thinking circle. Yeah, that's more so to do with Apple because people have been saying this for a long time. 8 gigs of unified memory ain't enough. I mean, yeah, it's cool if you just want to browse the web and stuff like that, but once that system gets loaded up, it's over. It's better just to have 16 gigs of unified memory. And to Apple's credit or their, laziness, they finally added 16 gigs of unified memory default across their lineup for, I believe, like the entire M4 series. To be fair, 16 gigabytes isn't enough either with edge models on the systems now. Yeah, well, like I said, it depends. It depends on what you're doing, but I'm just saying, like, base level, like, yeah, we're kind of past the days of 8 gigs and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, really, that's the whole shebang, update, whatnot. Like I said, staying away from bullshit. Um, Still trying to find what I really want to talk about because the the YouTube algorithm or whatever the fuck they want to call it kind of sucks. And when I'm saying it kind of sucks is it kind of sucks that for your channel to really do anything in certain ways, you got to like stick to like one topic. That's if you really want to do something like, you can't do like the variety thing. A lot of people who do Apple stuff got to stick to Apple because their audience doesn't give a fuck about Samsung. A lot of people who do Samsung stuff got to stick to Samsung because no one outside of that cares. So in the in the tech space, you got to kind of really maneuver and find something that you can do long term that you don't get burnt out about that you'll still enjoy doing 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 years from now. Or you just maybe even have to completely switch up and say, hey, thanks for the good times and I need to move on to something else. So it's very, very, very tricky. But yeah, I mean that's really about it. I guess the only other thing I could talk about is like I don't even get excited about Techtober anymore. I don't get excited about Techtember. I really don't get excited about none of these product cycles because literally in the back of my mind is like, fuck, I gotta spend some more money on some shit. that's that's literally the thing that goes through my mind as a tech YouTuber, aka smaller creator, is like, oh my God, can I stop spending money on stuff? I don't want to spend money on another thing. I just want to just buy the thing and just talk about it and kind of keep going on from there. But like I said, the way things are right now, it's literally like playing the game of buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. Or if you get good enough or you get further along enough, you start talking with brands. Um, Believe it or not, here's the funny thing. I didn't upload shit for 2 months. Why is it that more brands reached out to me when I stopped uploading for 2 months than the ones that when I was uploading like 2 or 3 videos a week and I was regularly doing lives? Brands didn't fuck with me at all. Like there were like a couple, right? And I understand where like people are like, oh well, you got to reach out to brands and stuff. I get that part. I didn't upload anything for 2 months, and my inbox was just like boom, boom. Hey, we got this. Hey, we got that. Hey, you want to do this? Hey, you want to do that? I'm like, wait, excuse me. So when I stop making videos, that's when all the flood of fucking emails comes in. And I didn't want to say yes to anything because I'm like, I'm not uploading right now. Like I'm working on myself. Maybe I might come back later and say, all right, cool. But that was like the biggest reverse Uno card ever. Now, so some of the offers were bullshit though. But some of the other ones were pretty legit. Some of the other ones were like, hey, we got this, $2,000 thing we want you to try out. And only thing that we ask is you make a video. And I'm just like, oh my God, I want to say yes, but I can't deliver the video. So yeah, that's the funny part. TJ says it's better. Oh yeah, it's better to be a consumer instead of a tech creator and thinking about what's next. Devices that you should pick up, phones. Yo, I'm telling you right now, it is so less stressful being a consumer. So less stressful. Um, I guess the last thing I'll talk about this, and I'll hop off of there, and I'll let you guys get back to your Wednesday or whatever. Is I want to talk about this tech fallacy that some of us pass on people or whatnot. Once again, not drama, just calling the shit the way I see it. So there's this whole discussion, right? That consumers, right? Buyers have too many options. They have too many options, and we need to go back to having less options. Instead of four different iPads, we only need one iPad. Instead of two or three different watches, we only need one watch. Or instead of four or five different phones, we only need one phone. I'm here to tell y'all that is some bullshit. And the reason why that is some bullshit is because there are different levels of consumers. And every time I see a tech creator complain that there's too many SKUs, there's too many iPads and shit like that, the reason why we are complaining is because we have to buy all that shit. That's why we are complaining. We are complaining because we only want to buy one iPad. We are complaining because we only want to buy one phone, right? We just want to buy that $1,000 phone instead of getting the $200 phone and the $400 phone and the $600 phone and the $800 phone and the $1,000 phone. We just want that one phone. But with consumers, you have a whole fucking variety of people who are going to spend money. You have people who can only afford a $200 phone. And so that's what they're going to buy. You have other people that they want to spend $1,800 on a foldable phone. They're just going to spend the 1,800 fucking dollars, right? These companies make products and they target their own demographic or whatever. These companies could care less about what tech creators can afford or what tech creators can cover unless that's going to turn into a profit for them. So, yeah, literally every time I hear somebody talking about, oh, we'll kill off this product line because the poor consumer can't figure out which one to buy. No, they can figure it out. Consumers can look at their wallet and say, I have this much money to spend. You know, consumers who don't have $1,800 are not looking at $1,800 phones. You know, if it's going to get cheaper, they're just going to make a different model. But that's just literally been a pet peeve of mine. Is just the fact that a lot of us as creators can't turn our creator brain off, and we can't look at it through the view of the people that we're actually supposed to be trying to like talk to and help. We're too busy looking at it in terms of how many views can we get, how much watch time can we get, what brand deal can we get, how can I take this product and turn it into a profit versus is this actually the right thing for you? Does it make sense? For some people, a A base level iPad is more than they will ever fucking use in their entire life. For some people, a 60 hertz display is far greater than anything that they would ever experience. And even if you gave them a 120 hertz display, they wouldn't even appreciate it. I'm not defending the whole the divide between the two, but we are in a very, 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 very tiny group of people that actually put emphasis on this stuff. And I experience this every day because I'm not like trying to guide people to the light or anything, but every once in a while I'll just talk to people and I'll just like, yo, well, here are the differences, here's this and here's that, and here's blah blah blah. And they'll be like, yo, man, you know all this stuff, but I just don't see the difference. I don't experience it or I don't care or it doesn't matter to me. And that's cool. Is that at the end of the day, they're the ones spending the money. So yeah, that's who said this, man? Yo, look, you can you can go all throughout Twitter, and it's people complaining that they have too many options. And here's the thing: every option ain't for you. If you're somebody that is on a budget, you don't need to be looking at shit that's not a budget. But people won't say that. People will be like, people will create engagement tweets and stuff. They'd be like, "Oh, this phone costs as much as my rent." Well, hate to say it, that phone ain't for you. Buy a cheaper one. No, none of these companies have a responsibility to give you their best phone for Dollar Tree prices. And most of the time, people aren't even going to use all this stuff anyway. So, but I'll do a couple more comments and then we'll wrap it up because I'm getting just long winded. The best time was when the iPhone SE first gen existed with the newer design iPhones. Yeah, like that was like a pretty, chill compromise and stuff. Yep, phones for different audiences. Exactly. Like this is gonna sound dumb, but I feel like when people are like, "Hey, people can't afford $1,000 phones," it's like trying to give out college degrees to people that don't need them. Hey, everybody needs a college degree now. Everybody needs a $1,000 phone. All right, well, what are you going to use that for? Well, we're not, but everybody should have the same thing. No, that's why there's differences between different things. Uh, let's see. We make too many types of cars. How does the average consumer know what to buy? Yeah, no one's talking about that, right? See, I got to go into subtweets on this. Big creators to see. Honestly, the only time I really see people talk about it is like maybe like 100,000 and above or something like that. Sometimes people talk about it from a business standpoint, but I look at it this way. I remember the times. I remember these. I remember the times when Apple had one iPhone. Okay. They had one size. They had one option. And maybe like, no, two colors maybe or something like that. I remember people back in the day used to scream because other phones and other companies had multiple options and people were tired of being stuck with a 4-inch screen. When you had Samsung coming out with like 5-inch, 5.3-inch screens and 5.7-inch screens, and Motorola came out with different screens, and everybody else had more options. All the Apple people were like, man, if we could just have that one day. Now we're at the top. We're at the peak of the mountain, looking down, wanting the same shit that we were complaining about 10 years ago. And I'm just saying, from tech publications to tech YouTubers, because trust me, I deal with enough regular people every single day. No regular person is like, oh fuck, I gotta choose between 4 different phones. My life sucks. Regular people are like, hey, I can get the cheap one, or I can get the expensive one, or I can do this, or I can do that. I got options. Thank you. Oh man. iPhone 6 series changed everything. Yep. Once they introduced a small one and a big one, like it doesn't have to be one size fits all. But like I said, we always do the opposite of shit. If if we got if we have all the options, we complain we have too many options. If we don't have any options, then we complain when we say we want more options. And I'm leaving all that shit alone. Like I said, I'd rather just do shit that like helps people out and you know not have to jump through any hoops, excluding 5C. Yeah, that phone. So yeah, I will go ahead and leave it there, wrap it up. Uh Easy Computer Solutions, or aka the Tech Preacher as he goes by now, should be tuning up the band pretty soon. So I'll see y'all in the comments over there. Thanks for hanging out and listen to me jibber jabber and provide my update. So all right, y'all. Peace.